Hey, okay, sir. Welcome back to Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. Well, we've got another limited time side quest that has popped up. This one is revolving around Jay's birthday. I can't remember exactly what it was called now off the top of my head. My mind is completely blank. But basically, there's a painting that Badia and I painted, well, mostly Badia, painted for Jay for his birthday. But then all of the portrait people in the castle have migrated to this particular painting because it's a party and they won't leave, and it's kind of screwing everybody over because, for example, we can't get into the Gryffindor common room because a fat lady won't leave the painting. So we have to get the different characters out of that and move them to the original paintings. Hopefully that makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense, well, if you watch the first part, you'll understand. So now we gotta go to the library and do some research to figure out how to get rid of Sir Doggin, or whatever the heck his name is. That's not it. Cadogan? I always forget his name. Hi, Casey. I found some notes on Sir Cadogan, just like you asked. That's his name. Fantastic. Thank you, Penny. This is sure to help us on the research into Sir Cadogan's life.
Huh?
But if you want to know about Sir Cadogan's life, why don't you just ask him? Well, he's a bit preoccupied, but he had painted a party at the Three Broomsticks for Jay's birthday. And he usually goes to the Three Broomsticks on his birthday, but it's closed today. Some of Hogwarts' portrait subjects decided to move into the painting I made to have some fun.
Huh?
I heard that some of the Gryffindors were locked into their common room. Is that why? That's right. The fat lady's at the Three Broomsticks painting, so she's not there to open the door. If we can't return her and the rest of the portrait subjects back to their portraits, then Jay and I will get detention. First, we're focusing on Sir Cadogan. If we research him, we may find out how to lure him to his portrait. Yeah, so basically they explained it a lot better than I did. But there's at least 3 characters we have to get rid of. Sir Cadogan, the fat lady, and I think Violet as well. With such an exciting past, it's no wonder Sir Cadogan has become bored in his portrait. I knew a little bit about his life from completing his knightly trials, but I didn't know this much. The bit about Wern of the Y and him being a Gryffindor, maybe that's how we convince him to leave. I think you're onto something, Badia. Perhaps we can entice him back to his portrait if we say there's a dangerous creature there. But if he gets there and there's no exciting creature, then he'll just go back to the party. That's true, but what if you painted a frightening picture for him to duel? You could do that, couldn't you, Badia? I don't know, Casey. Since my Three Broomsticks painting is what got us into this mess, I'd be worried about messing it up. But you could paint something, Casey. Well, I did paint with Liz when we were trying to find her a new hobby. I'm sure whatever you paint will be fantastic, Casey. But what will you paint? It should be something fearsome. Manticore, Acromantula, Chimera. Spiders are pretty scary. Perhaps I'll paint an Acromantula. They're quite fearsome. Acromantulas give me the creeps, but they are threatening. And Acromantula is sure to get Sir Cadogan's attention, especially since they're so dangerous. Now that I know what I'm going to paint, I just have to find a subject to paint from. And I think I know just who to consult. Liz Tuttle. She's sure to help me find an Acromantula to paint so that I can lure Sir Cadogan away. And then I'll be one step closer to getting the fat lady back to her portrait and fixing Jay's birthday. Well, I kind of figure so. Alright. Paint a fish creature. So I assume it's going to be the Acromantula, and if it's not... I don't see anything. Hi Liz, where's that creature I asked about? Yeah, about that. I know you wanted to paint an Acromantula to lure Sir Cadogan back to his painting. But the only thing I could get on such short notice was this fanged Puffskein. What the absolute fresh hell? That's an adorable yet terrifying thumbnail. Hold on. That's better. Eyes wide like saucers they are. Shrimp. What about the acromantula from the Magical Creature Reserve? I tried talking to the acromantula, but it just threatened to eat me. But what do you think about this fanged puffskein? It could be scary in the right circumstances. It's kind of cute. It's not scary at all. It's oddly terrifying. You can see it there on the far right. Honestly, it's pretty cute. I don't think it's scary at all. It just reminds me of a cheap cosplay, like it's trying to become a vampire. Honestly, this fanged puffskein is kind of cute. Isn't it? I love its little fangs and tiny paws. It's just so cute. Oh yeah, it's got paws too. I think it's perfect just the way it is, but Sukadogan might not think so. It's not quite as ferocious as the creatures he's probably encountered during the times of night. Perhaps I could embellish the painting? Make it seem scarier? You have to make sure to enhance all of its frightening features, like the red eyes and fangs. I'm pretty sure that's orange eyes. That's what I'm thinking. I better get to painting this fanged puffskein if I want to lure Sukadogan away. Yeah man, it is pretty adorable, but I am very interested to see how I actually make this even more terrifying, which will probably be my thumbnail. We'll know after this. Oh, look at that thing. Alright, I think my fanged puffskein painting is all finished. It looks great, Casey. Much better than I could do. Your hippogriff painting was fantastic, Liz. Thank you. I suppose it did turn out okay, even if it's not what I meant to paint. Barnaby seemed to like it at least. I think he's got it hanging in his dorm room. You suppose a fanged puffskein painting is scary enough though, Liz? I think it's just right. I mean, look at the way its eyes glow, and those fangs. Hopefully Sukadogan thinks it's frightening. If you're that worried, you could think of a reason why Sukadogan has to duel it. Maybe come up with a story about the trouble it's causing. A little lie never hurt anyone. What a cunning Slytherin you are, Liz. You're right though. I'll have to decide what story to tell Sukadogan, or if I want to tell him the truth. In the meantime, I'll take this portrait to the grand staircase and hang it by Sukadogan's portrait. Thank you, Liz. Now, I've just got to tell Sukadogan that there's a creature in need of slaying. That will lure him back to the painting, and then he'll be closer to getting the fat lady back to her portrait. And most importantly, saving Jay's birthday. He's already missed 2 of his birthday rituals. I don't know. It doesn't really look that menacing, does it? I mean, look at that. I personally don't think it's that good of a job. I mean, let me put it another way. It's good. It's just not enough to, I think, scare a knight who's been through hell and back, right? Sukadogan, I've urgent news for you. Hail, lad, what ails you? There's a dangerous creature near your portrait that requires avenging. What creature dares to darken my portrait? What knave would trespass upon my dwelling whilst I'm occupied? It's a fanged puffskein, sir, a most fearsome creature. A fanged puffskein? That hardly sounds like a worthy foe. Oh, but it is, Sukadogan. Allow me to convince you. Okay, great. Short and sweet words. And also, yes, it does not seem very terrifying at all. But maybe my painting is just that darn good. As you can see, Sukadogan, the famed puffskein is truly a ferocious creature and a worthy opponent. With the fangs of a dragon and red glowing eyes, you're the only knight for the job. Thank you, Cursebreaker, for bringing this most fearsome creature to my attention. I shall deal with it right away. You shall be defeated by the day's end, or my name isn't Sukadogan. Or is it Cadogan? Sukadogan, but the party isn't over. Oh blast, he has such interesting stories. Perhaps you could spend time with the fat lady? That would be wonderful. Violet, let's... Oh, she's not listening. That's alright, I'll just wait for her over here. So things are falling into place? Penny, Jay, I have some good news. So Cadogan has left the party. That means we're one step closer to celebrating your birthday, Jay. That's just fantastic, Casey, and it looks like Violet's upset that Sir Cadogan is gone. Now that he's gone, perhaps Violet and the fat lady will leave? That is good news, Casey. Wish I could have told that to Professor McGonagall when she asked. She contacted me again asking why the fat lady hasn't returned to her portrait. It's already past lunch and we only have until the end of the day to return the portrait subjects. I missed 2 of my birthday rituals because of this, and I'd rather not miss a third by getting detention. We'll return the portrait subjects by the end of the day, Jay. Then, we're going to celebrate your birthday. Casey, we may have a bit of a problem. Violet set her sights on someone new. Who is that? Oh, blimey. It's that wizard poet Percival Pratt. He'd always tell me I should take time to rhyme every day. A poet, huh? Maybe we could use that to our advantage. If he's a poet, perhaps he'll respond best to poetry? Not sure a poem is going to get him back to his portrait. What if I wrote a poem about his portrait? Or perhaps something about his home? If the poem reminds him of his home, and he leaves for his portrait, then Violet will spend time with the fat lady. But we want Violet and the fat lady to go back to their portraits, so Casey and I don't end up in detention. And they'll go back to their portraits if we get Percival Pratt to leave. And I think I know just a poet to help me. Talbot Winger. He told me about his love of poetry when I was helping him find his necklace. Fantastic idea, Casey. Talbot is such a lovely poet, too. If I'm going to convince Percival Pratt to leave the party, then I need to get Talbot's help. I've got to write a poem about home to convince Percival Pratt to go back to his portrait. Great! So another wrinkle in the whole thing. Talbot, there you are. I should have known I'd find you in the gallery, Talbot. Well, someone has to take care of the owls. What can I do for you, Casey? Penny mentioned you needed my help. I need your help writing a poem about what home means to someone. I'm hoping if I make Percival Pratt miss his home, then he'll return to his portrait. I remember that you enjoyed poetry. It seems only right to ask someone who enjoys it to help me. You came to the right person, Casey. But why are you writing a poem for Percival Pratt? I'm trying to save Jay's birthday. I convinced Medea to plan a party at the Three Broomsticks for Jay, but things went awry. Some of the Hogwarts portrait subjects, including the fat lady, decided to join in on the fun in the painting. I have to get them back to their portraits or Professor McGonagall is going to give Jane our detention. That explains why Percy Weasley has been asking me all day about the quietest place to study. I've only just managed to get away from him. For someone so interested in finding somewhere quiet to study, he's quite talkative. I didn't realize trying to help Jay with his birthday would have such an impact on the school. I should have paid more attention, especially after helping to restore balance in the Forbidden Forest. I've got to set things right, Talbot. Will you please help me write a poem about home? I like to help, Casey, but poetry is personal and subjective, just like any art. I don't know what will make Percival Pratt homesick, but my advice is to draw from your own experiences. So, write something that reminds me of home then? Exactly, something that reminds you of home. So what reminds you of home? It could be a person close to you, a place. My friends, Hogwarts, my brother. I think my brother is probably a pretty safe bet. So we'll go with that one on the far right. My brother reminds me of home. He's my family, and that's what home means to me. And now that I found him, Jacob reminds me of home more than ever. Well, I don't have any siblings, but if I did, I would agree with you. Then that's what your poem should be about. I find that sometimes the things around you can inspire rhymes. For example, because of this owl, I no longer scowl. That usually is how I approach writing. Thank you for helping me, Talbot. Of course, Casey, we're friends, and this is what friends do. While I'm tending to the owls, you can ask me for more advice or run ideas by me. Sometimes saying ideas out loud can help you find solutions. I think I'll take you up on that, Talbot. Since you're the poet, your opinion will be helpful. Now, it is time to start writing this poem. Yes, let's get this ball rolling more, shall we? Let's get it rolling. I only need one last line to complete my poem about home. Something that rhymes with brother. Mother. Other? Excellent. That would do nicely, Talbot. Glad I was able to help, Casey. And with that, my poem about home is complete. Now I've just got to recite it to Percival Pratt and hope it makes him homesick for his portrait. With any luck, I'll be able to return the fat lady to her portrait in time to save Jay's birthday. I think that the word mother would have been better. His family hits close to home too, right? Or maybe he didn't have a family, I don't know. But anyway, that is it. Moving on to part number 3. Says here, when Sir Cadogan returned to his portrait, you turn your attention to wizard poet Percival Pratt. Hopefully, the poem he wrote with Talbot will remind him of home. I hope so, because we only have a couple parts left, and we still have to get rid of him, and then get the fat lady to the portrait as well. So let's see if I can actually start this up or not. Another extra card. Don't have a lot of time for this remaining. I'm still on the first one, like a week that's left. I still can't get the middle one at the top there. Do I have to wait? I do. 5 hours. But yeah, like I said, it looks like everything's going pretty smoothly, honestly. I still think, and I said this before in the first part, I think at the very end of this that we're going to have a surprise party for Jay. That's just my guess anyway. We'll see what happens moving forward with that in the Portrait Panic side quest line, limited time by the way, in Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. So thank you everybody so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Alright everybody.